Well, it's been over 24 hours now, and I still can't get that Deep Blue Something song out of my head. Well, the one thing we've got is the final wager. Matt's back for his third game. Will he do the math right this time? Man, I love a good barn burner. 3 stellar scores. Category: newspapers. Here's the clue. By now I'm hoping you've watched parts 1 and 2, in which I explain how to wager in 2-player games. In part 3 I'm going to explain how to wager in 3-player games, and it's basically just an extrapolation of 3 different 2-player games. So try to follow along here. If you don't get it, that's fine. Once part 3 is up, it'll make more sense. We'll look first at Matt and Neil. Neil needs to cover an all-in wager by Matt. If Matt bets everything and gets it right, he'll have $25,600. To match this, Neil will need to wager at least $11,600. Now for Matt. If Neil gets it wrong, he'll be left with no more than $2,400. To stay at or above this, Matt can wager no more than $10,400. Now for rule number 3. For Matt to cover a 0 wager by Neil, he'd need to wager at least $1,200. Next we look at Matt and Lonnie. If Lonnie doubles up, she'll have $24,000. So to match or beat this, Matt needs to wager at least $11,200. Note that this doesn't jibe with his first set of wagers against Neil. This means he has 2 sets of wagers he can consider, but if you want a wager to stay above the other player, he's going to have to wager at least $11,200, and we'll go into this sometime later. Now, if Matt gets it wrong, he'll have at most $1,600, so to stay above this, Lonnie can wager no more than $10,400. Now to cover a 0 wager by Matt, you'll see that Lonnie has to wager at least $800. Now for Neil and Lonnie. Neil's already locked into wagering $11,600 to cover Matt. So if he gets it wrong, he'll have $2,400. To stay above this, Lonnie can wager no more than $9,600, and that becomes her new maximum wager. Now if Neil wagers 0, he'll have $14,000, and to get above this, Lonnie needs to wager at least $2,000, so that becomes her new minimum wager. So the math here is pretty complicated, yes. Let's see how our players did. We start with Lonnie. She got it right and wagered everything, doubling her score to $24,000. I don't really like this wager, it's way too much. Matt also got it right and wagered $12,200. This wager's too much as well, but it doesn't really affect the outcome. Neil got it right and wagered $12,000, making him the champion with $26,000. Also too much, but also not affecting the outcome, so it's okay, I guess. So 3 subpar wagers, 2 not so bad, 1 pretty bad. Let's see how Neil does tomorrow, and we'll take it apart on the final wager. See you then.